It's been a bit of a week. Well, 2 weeks, really. Um, Handed in my notice at my current full-time job, which is, well, my part-time job because I just dropped down to part-time as well. Which was pretty cool. So I've done that, and I'm going to be going full-time as a freelancer in the next month or so, which is crazy. It's really crazy because I've wanted to do this for so long, and finally I was like, do you know what? I might as well just try, see what happens. So yeah, pretty massive step to say the least. But also with that comes a whole lot of fear and worry, and especially anxiety, because suddenly money becomes an extremely different issue. And that in itself worries me because obviously without money you can't do anything and all the normal stuff, but it's also the first time I'll ever be completely dependent on myself. And with all the anxious thoughts that I have anyway, I wonder how this is going to affect me. But the thing I focus on at the moment is that I'm just thinking about how I'm not going to have a boss anymore. My boss is me, and that's a really exciting thought, that I'm not going to have to explain to anyone anymore, like the way that I am, or if I feel particularly reclusive one day, or if I just need a day to kind of to do my own thing, like all that kind of stuff. And that, just that on its own, is enough for me to feel like, yeah, like I said, like happy and excited about. So that's really cool. That being said, though, there's been a lot of worry in general because there's been quite a lot happening, obviously, around the world at the moment. At the time of recording this, the coronavirus is spreading massively and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not panicking about that, but we were supposed to go on holiday in a couple of weeks, and we've been messed around with our flights. So we were supposed to go to Italy, but then we had to cancel because Italy is fucked, apparently. So we're now going to Slovenia, and now that might be in trouble because of the virus, and we're supposed to be going in a couple of weeks. So it's a really strange one. I don't really know what's going on, but that's been quite stressful because we just want to kind of get it done, and I desperately need some time away. It would be so good just to be able to properly kick back for a while and not have to think so much. Just for a little bit, just to have a week before this whole freelancing business really kicks off, because after that I'm not going to have much time for breaks, and especially not going to be able to afford holidays. So we'll have to see. But I have been feeling stressed, and it's difficult because I find that when I get stressed, I get anxious, but then I lose sight of the things that are causing me stress. So it's very easy for me to say, oh, I'm feeling really anxious today, and that be the end of it, and I don't really go into the analysis of why I am feeling like that. But this time it's like, right, you know why you're feeling the way you're feeling. You need to really analyze what is going on, because also, for whatever reason, I've just been procrastinating really badly. I have projects that need to be finished, but every time I open my editing software and I go in to start working, I just fall apart, and I start thinking I can't do this, or I'm rubbish at this. I put myself down really badly, and I don't know why I've been doing that. I really don't. It's bizarre. So yeah, I'm really confused, because I have no reason at the moment to feel like to doubt my self-worth, to doubt my abilities as an editor or whatever, because I'm about to go full-time doing this thing because I have so much work. So there's no reason for this. And I really can't put my finger on it. It's really frustrating because on paper you look at everything and you're like, look, I'm happy and things are going really well and you're making this big life change and it's working. But in the same time, you're just like, ugh, why am I not doing better, or why am I not feeling better? It's peculiar. But that's why I'm kind of talking to you about it, because at least it's something that I can try and get out of me. I've been trying to... Well, what I do when I feel like, when I'm procrastinating for on some work, I will basically talk myself out of doing it. So I'll be like, oh, you don't want to do this, like you don't want to finish this or start this. So instead, I've been trying to turn around on myself and just being like, look, this has to be done. This is just something you have to do. And that kind of self-affirmation I can feel it helping. Like just saying, look, you just got to do it. It's something that has to be done. And if you do it, then that's just one thing you can tick off. So sit down, have a cup of tea or something, open your software, start working, and every time you think, I don't want to do this, just think, no, this has to be done. And it's odd because every time I say that to myself, I feel a little bit better. Just a little bit more in control. And I can't explain how much better that makes me feel. Sorry, I just had a text to answer. So yeah, I've never really thought about those kinds of self-affirmations. I've always thought to be honest, I've always thought they were just complete bullshit, because you read inspirational stuff all the time and it doesn't actually make you feel inspired. It just annoys you because you're just like, oh, this kind of make-believe nonsense. At least this is the way that I feel about it, is that, oh, you can talk yourself into doing something. But I'm really starting to realise that is absolutely true. Of course you can talk yourself into doing something, because I talk myself out of doing things all the time. I mean, just this week, just saying to myself, I don't want to do this work for no reason. I just don't want to do it. And me just expecting to be okay with that. And I don't know, my brain is just now going, no, like you have to make the time. You have to make it happen, because, I mean, today I had the day off and I was like, right, I know exactly what I need to do. I know how much work I have to do, when I need to get it finished by. I've got a deadline, all these things. And then I just started crying. It was the weirdest thing. It was like just the thought of working filled me with this proper trepidation, and I was like, no, like I don't want to do this. But then I was sitting at my desk as I am now, and I stood up and I just said, you know what, this needs to be done. And immediately I felt better. It was the weirdest thing. Like, I know I tend to kind of repeat myself, but over the next 10 minutes, I was able to start packing my bag for a job I have tomorrow. And I felt better when I sat back down. I went, right, that's one thing. That's one small piece that you've done to make yourself feel better. And you did it. I guess what I'm trying to say is that I'm trying really hard to teach myself not to be positive, not to push the negative thoughts or the anxiety to the back of my mind. It's more just, look, this thing that you're afraid of, it just has to be done. And I think that actually that might really help me in the future. And I'm not saying that it's going to work every time, but I feel like it's a small step to something much better and to a little bit more of a balance in my mind. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. And like I said, I'm excited for this new chapter of my life to start, and I'm excited for what the future will bring. I'm still scared. I'm still really freaking out, but I think this could be the start of something really important, and just these small steps might actually get me there. So that's kind of all I had on my mind today, but I feel like this is helping. I feel like this is, whenever I feel a little bit too overwhelmed, it's good to just kind of just talk to you. And even if no one really watches this, that's not really the point of why I'm doing it. It just feels better to get something out. So, thanks for listening, and I will probably see you again in the near future. Cheers.